Welcome everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. Man, it's 2021 already, I can scarcely believe it. It's kind of scary. Anyway, yeah, a customer brought this car in and there's a lot of wrong with it. Yeah, a lot of wrong with it. We have to take all the bearing caps. I think we even have to take the pistons out. Piston with conrod, yep. Actually two of the pistons seem to be in a pretty bad way. Camshaft, cam gear. Stuff is not very good. 72%. Alright. So, let's get on with it, shall we? Okay, so we've taken out the camshaft last time. This one seems to be in good order. And we don't know what the what this is. I mean, let's see. What sort of condition this is. It seems to be okay. Well, it's 71. Oh, I like the music. It seems to be 71, and it's a minimum of 72. So, okay. Well, we already need one. And let's take this one off as well. Excuse me. There we go. There's that one. 71 as well. That's kind of sneaky from the game. Unless they mean... Yeah, that one's 72 as well. I'm just going to add another one, because I'm assuming this one is going to be 71 as well. Are they sure? Okay, it is, I guess. Let's see. This spark plug, 73. Well, these seem okay, but I think I have to... Oh no, I've already replaced the spark plugs, haven't I? I'm just gonna take these out for now. 70%, there we go. Do I have a replacement spark plug? No. No. I'll need to buy one. Unfortunately, I cannot add it here. Oh, I can still add it despite the fact that it's missing from the engine. That's nice. Okay. Right, so what about this crankshaft? This crankshaft should be okay, right? No, it's not either. Okay. Right, let's add this one as well. This car, I don't think it's worth... I don't think it's actually worth repairing, because this is a complete frickin' rebuild. Never mind a rebuild, it's a completely new engine we're going to be putting in pretty much. Let's see the intake here. What's this? 70% as well. Is this right? I cannot believe that this would actually be... Let's see. Spark plug. 2 spark plugs. Rod cap, piston with conrod. Ignition coil. Crankshaft bearing caps. 3 of them. Even though it's more than that. Clutch plate, camshaft. And only 1 camshaft. Repair with parts of minimum condition 72%. How does this work? Wait a second. So if the parts need to be a minimum condition of 72%, is this just the parts that we actually need to replace, I guess? I guess it is. Well, it's kind of weird. I don't like that. Just tell me what the minimum condition of everything needs to be, not the parts that I need to replace. I mean, okay. I'm gonna... No, wait a second. I'm gonna remove those from the shopping list. That's not very good. So all of these are fine then. And you can only get rid of them altogether. Wait a second, I've gotten rid of something else now. Oh well. Camshaft. I only need 1. How do I... Oh well. Yeah, that's a bit annoying, to be honest. There. That is quite a bit annoying. Alright, I think we might need to go under the engine. To look at what's going on. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Yeah, that's a little bit annoying. Have we taken the fuel out yet? Yeah, well, obviously we have, yeah. Alright, let's take that out. 74%. So, okay, we do have to take the head off. Oh yeah, of course, because we take the cylinders from the top. I'm not really sure this car is worth it to take all of that off. And, wow, okay. But let's do it anyway. I'm assuming that mechanics don't shy away from stuff like this because, well, it's money. I wonder if these are good. Well, these would have been checked by the electronic stuff, right? By the voltmeter, even though I'm not sure how you could do that. I think you need some special tools to check injectors. I think they actually have these little, these little closed things where they actually put the injectors in, and then I think they spray water through them with some kind of a computer-controlled pump or something, and it checks for how the injectors spray, how much they spray, if they all spray the same amount in a given amount of time, and so on and so forth. It's pretty interesting. Ah, yeah, see, this one is 71%, this one is 2%. So, ooh, 2 pistons are just cooked. I'm gonna take all of them out right now because I already have it, and see what the... No, the crankshaft seems to be okay. Crankshaft seems to be okay. But what else are we missing here? Because we're missing a lot. We're missing a lot of stuff here. So I'm not really sure. I think it's going to be another one of those things where I just have to take everything apart just to figure out what the heck is wrong. 75%, that's fine. Exhaust section. I think it's the brakes. So let's find out. I think it's got a lot to do with the brakes. The bearings, actually. Or even the humps. Let's see. Bearing. Yeah, 4%. Obviously, I need to add that. Right. Let's go to the other one. Another bearing here. But that's not going to be enough. There's more stuff that needs to be discovered. So there's that bearing as well. It's also the bushings, I believe. And I forgot to take this there. Yeah, it's also the bushings. No, it's not. I thought they were rusty. But I don't think they are. Yeah, 13%. That does need to go. What about these things then? Ah, and these ones are only accessible from underside. That one needs to go as well. 11%. Anything else that looks horrible here? That. Let's go to the other side. Get this rubber bushing as well. So I think that's going to be the hidden stuff. Let's see the brakes at the back as well. Yeah, that sway bar there. Oh, sorry, suspension arm. Anything else? The bushings also, I think. Yeah. Okay, well, we found most of the stuff, I think, now. Oh yeah, I should have done that as well. Rear sway bar. Yeah, that's gonna have to go. A lot of stuff is gonna have to go. So this must be a car of huge sentimental value because, well, it's obviously not a newer car, and there's a heck of a lot of wrong with it, and this guy's throwing money at it. So let's see. Let me also take that stuff off. I thought I saw rust in there. Let's see. Is it rusty? No, it's not. Okay. My eye's playing tricks on me. Alright, we'll need to access that on the lift, but we need to get rid of the other tire as well. Wasn't that all the same sound in the previous mechanics? I think it was. I think it was just a truck, truck, truck. And now they have special sounds for these as well. I don't know. I can't quite remember. Anything else on this car? That bushing there, definitely. So, there. Because I haven't done the previous one, I believe. I didn't add it to the shopping list. And even if I didn't, well, we can have a spare. Even though then I always forget that we do have a spare. There's a 66%, that's okay. Alright, so now the annoying thing is we'll have like, yeah, 3 parts that we haven't discovered yet. It's quite annoying because that means all they're hiding somewhere. It might be the front suspension, but let's see. If we find anything that's out of the ordinary. Oh yeah, of course. These things, these bushings. No, where are they? Oh no, we've done all these bushings here. Okay. Let's go back here and remove this. The sway bar. There we go. So that's that. Was that one of the parts? Yes, it was. So 2 more parts. Everything here looks okay. Do I see any rust anywhere? The battery has been checked, right? Rubber bushing. Oh wait, you can do the rubber bushing itself. No? Lower suspension arm, rubber bushing. Let's see. Because that one looks okay. Oh, it's just removing the entire thing. Oh yeah, because it's... Ah, of course, because in this game you've got things built out of several components. Okay, let's put that right back on. Right, so what else could it be? Because all of this stuff looks okay. I'm just looking for rust, really. These bushings look okay. There's a rusty rusty screw there, but that's fine. So it must be something on the engine, really, I guess. That's my only idea. Well, that's... The block is okay. Might be the ABS module or something. We'll see. Brake servo. Yeah, we've pretty much taken this entire engine apart by now. It's crazy. And we're still missing 2 things. So cooling. Well, I mean, the only way to do it is to actually remove it. I mean, that's not the only way to do it. There's other ways, but we don't have the tools for it right now. Oh yeah, fuse box, but we've already done that, right? We've done the compression tester, the electronic, everything. Let's just do that just one more time. Yeah, we've done that. Yeah, the fuses are good. Good, they're good. Relay type. Alright. So what about the filter? Might need a change of filter. No, that filter looks okay. Yep. Put that right back on. That's kind of the annoying thing, trying to find the last thing. Of course, if you were to think about it logically, you'd probably have an easier time. What? Air filter base. Oh, okay. That's going to be fine. But there doesn't appear to be anything else on the engine that we can actually remove. What, it wants us to replace the coolant reservoir? No, that's fine. The steering fluid is, yeah, practically at the maximum. Let's see the ABS module. It's not rusty though, so that tells me it might be just fine. Wouldn't that be fun if you could just check things by seeing if they're rusty or not in real life? Okay, so that was all fine. Kind of confused about that now. But we've had this problem before in the car mechanic simulator games, where we just cannot find that last little part. So we've taken all of the stuff off of the engine. There's no cam gear, no camshaft, no pistons, no con rods, nothing really. It's just the block. I can even remove the block itself. And, you know, that's it. So it must be something like a tiny bushing somewhere. So we've taken these bushings out. We've checked these. for the suspension arms. Well, not on that side, but I think it's fine. The exhaust system seems to be completely fine. Ah, these things we said. Yeah, there you go. You know what I wish for? I wish there was a key where when you removed something from the car, you had an option of pressing that key in, and it would add the last thing you disassembled to the shopping list. I think that'd be great. All right, so now we actually have everything. And we're probably missing stuff from the shopping list, but that's okay. So, shopping list. Front sway bar. That's going to be expensive. So we're at 8,500 credits. Or I should probably say dollars, because I'm guessing we're in the US. Oh yeah, still can't press space. That's quite annoying. Flywheel. Expensive. Timing chain. Cam gear. Spark plugs. Oh yeah, we'll need 2 of those, I believe. I'm not sure. So one of these. What, that's only 250? Okay. We'll have bearing. Did it say how many? 2. I don't know why, but it is really kind of... Oh, I can't type in here. That's a bit annoying. It's really kind of satisfying buying these things, because you know that you'll be replacing them and it'll be new and shiny and stuff. I don't know why, really. So let me check something. Oh yeah, I have to press escape, not F. Spark plugs. So 1, 2, 3, 4. No, these are all fine, really. I mean, yeah. Okay. Let's also... I don't know. I wanted to just sell the old stuff, but I don't know how much we can repair. I just want to keep it because I'm a cheapskate and we can repair stuff later on when we have the tools. So, let's start putting this thing back together. And yeah, this is literally a complete engine rebuild. I don't think that would have been worth it for a car like this. Unless, like I said many times before, and fine, I'll stop repeating myself now. This is of huge sentimental value, which it must be. And the guy must have, you know, a fair bit of money if he can afford something like this, because even though I had, you know, pretty big sentimental value for my previous car, I don't think I would have been ready to spend that much on a complete rebuild like this. Right, let's put the rubber bushings in if we can from here. That'd be great. Because yeah, I don't know. So a complete engine rebuild, how much would that cost? I wonder. I mean, it depends on the country, of course, and how expensive labor is there. But I can imagine it wouldn't be very cheap. Especially if you go to an official dealership, where they would most likely just tell you to buy a new car because, you know, manufacturers, they love telling you not to repair something. Unless, of course, the repair is going to be reasonably minor and they can charge you a lot for it. Which is, I think, just absolutely ridiculous. That we're in a world where this is, you know, allowed. I mean, things are sort of changing with rights to repair here in Europe, at least. Where I think they're saying that things will have to be made to last and not to break within, I don't know, a certain period of time. Oh yeah, I forgot the wheel hub bearings. There you go. Also on the other side, so I don't forget and then wonder why I can't put the tires back on. That's it for here. Let's check the other side. Rubber bushings here. But yeah, you know, the whole, if you think about it, it's pretty crazy. If you have, for example, many years ago, one of my LCD monitors stopped working. You know, you turn it on and it would turn on, but there would be no picture. And what would a regular, what would an average person do? Well, they would probably, I don't know, maybe try taking it to someone that can repair electronics. Maybe. I mean, that would be the smart thing to do, right? If you're not electronically inclined. But I just asked my dad if he could look at it, because he's an engineer. And he opened it up. And what did he find? One simple... what are they called in English? Not the condenser. Capacitor. One simple capacitor. That was it. That's all that was broken on the main board of the monitor. It was a simple capacitor that had blown, and that caused the picture not to show. And can you imagine throwing away... Oh, there's a helicopter above, flying above. Can you imagine taking that big piece of electronic stuff that is completely and perfectly in order, apart from one tiny, like, 10-cent capacitor? Literally 10 cents or even less, I think that costed. And, you know, just throwing it away because, well... you don't know what's wrong with it. And because I've heard plenty of stuff with... Oh, front drive shaft. We need to buy that. Oh, wait a second. I've heard, especially with Apple, for example, they're notorious for that. Buy this. So we've spent about $1,500 right now on this. Interesting. Yeah, especially with Apple, I've heard that they, the official repair, quote unquote, if you've seen Louis Rossmann channel on YouTube, very, very fun to watch, very interesting. He does a lot of stuff with that. He has a repair shop in New York and repairs Apple stuff. While also at the same time, very smartly not using Apple products himself. I do really enjoy that because, you know, he knows how they're made, he knows how everything works, and obviously it's also his own preference and such. My preference as well. I've used Apples in the past, never owned them, but I've used them for my diploma and such, and yeah, no thank you. Don't really understand how people like Apple, but there you go. Anyway, I've lost my thread of thought. What was I talking about now? Why can I not put this? Oh yeah, because of the... Oop, come back. Because of the sway bar. But yeah, oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. Apple is apparently notorious for that. I personally wouldn't know because I've never, like, owned Apple and, you know, brought it to the official repair. But apparently, if something goes wrong there, even a tiny, tiny minor thing on your, for example, iPhone, apparently what they will do is, let's say that your headphone connector breaks. I think that's one of the videos that I saw at Louis Rossmann group. And let's say that your headphone connector breaks. They will take the phone in and say, well, you need a new motherboard for the phone, which costs, like, I don't know, I'm making this up now, $700. And you will also have all your data wiped. I mean, can you imagine that? Can you imagine that for a simple phone connector? And then, you know, people bring their stuff to unauthorized repair groups like Louis, and they have it repaired for, like, I don't know, $20 or something. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And I think manufacturers who do that, that's the lowest of the low. Not only that, not only are they completely ripping people off with that, completely ripping people off, but the other thing is, can you imagine the landfills? If your iPhone's headphone jack is bad, and only that little thing needs replacing, and they replace the entire motherboard with all the chips on board, with all the time and energy and effort that went into manufacturing a new motherboard, not to mention the, you know, all the metals in there, the gold, the titanium, or whatever goes in there, probably not titanium, but definitely gold and other metals, and then they just replace that? I mean, one, either they throw it away, which is ridiculous and crazy, but what I'm thinking more is that they just keep your motherboard and then sell it to the next schmuck that's, you know, as new. They wipe the data off and that's it, and whoop-de-doo, they got a new motherboard. And Can you imagine the amount of money they make with that? I mean, imagine going to your car dealership. Oh, I need 2 pistons with conrods. And probably, no, just pistons with conrods. Imagine going to your dealership and let's pretend for a moment that you don't know how to... Oh, well, it's obviously this one. That you don't know how to replace your light bulb, right? In your light. Let's say you go there and say, oh, my light is out. And they say, yeah, okay, well, this thing is broken. We'll need to replace the entire module. Hello LEDs today, by the way. And the front bumper and also the wheel and suspension over here. Because, you know. And you say, okay, because you don't know anything about cars. I mean, can you imagine that they would be doing that? That's the same thing there. And then, I mean, you know, I explained this much, much worse than Lewis does. So if you're interested in that, go check out Lewis Rossman Group on YouTube. It's a very, very interesting channel. In the past, it used to be mostly about mainboard repairs for Apple computers and such, which was quite interesting to watch for me, even though I'm not electronically inclined. But lately, he's been actually sort of... I'm not going to say politically involved because I hate that word and it implies that, for me, it implies that he's receiving money to try to push an agenda of some sort. But he's been active in the political spectrum where he's actually pushing for the right to repair in the US. And I think that's absolutely brilliant. And he explains everything much more clearly than I do. He's also a much better speaker than I am. So you should go and watch that. It's quite fascinating, to be completely honest. But yeah, you know, the crap that some of the manufacturers, well, a lot of manufacturers, it's not just Apple, it's also apparently Samsung and others. You know, whenever you went to a manufacturer with a broken thing and you said, well, this is broken, can you repair it? And they'll just say, no, we'll have to replace the entire thing or whatever. I mean, take my graphics card, for example. You know, I'm not exactly sure what was wrong with it, so I'm not gonna comment too much about that, but they replaced the entire card, and it took 2 months to do it. You know? I mean, I'm hoping that they will refurbish that card, and give it to someone else when it's working, actually. But, you know, the idea that there's something, a small thing is wrong. Of course, on my card, it might have been the actual CPU. So I don't know. But you know, with official manufacturers, they do have the facilities to reball those processors, put a new one in. I'm sure they have the ability to do that. I mean, if Lewis can do it in his little, well, not a little anymore, but his repair shop, if he's got the know-how and the tools to actually resolder chips, actual chips, onto motherboards and onto mainboards and such, you know, that's crazy. Okay, so we've got the fuel rails here, which are good. So sorry, I went on a completely different tangent now, but yeah, that's something that kind of pisses me off. Manufacturers just taking people for a huge ride, especially Apple, I see, because no offense to anyone that has an Apple computer or Apple phone or whatever it is, I never liked them personally. I thought they were all just form over function. And I know Apple users will disagree and they'll say, oh, everything just works, blah, blah, blah. But I have my dad has a colleague that just swears by Apple, yet every time he has some sort of a problem and he comes to my dad and they have to figure it out, and you know, on PC it just works, or it's so much easier. Or the thing is, when he was interested in my computer because he wanted to upgrade his Mac computer, not a laptop but an actual computer, because he's a photographer and he needs a lot of horsepower. And he went to look at my computer and he was just flabbergasted at how quiet it is, you know. But that might be a weird thing to say, you think, but he was surprised because my computer, while it costed about a third of his Mac computer, was about 3 times as fast. And that's before I had this graphics card update. So it's just, you know, It's a complete no-brainer. I've told people this story before. Clutch plate. Oh yeah. No, we've done that. Crankshaft bearing cap. That's from the bottom. Ignition coils. Piston with conrod. What? What? Piston with conrod? But haven't we put the pistons in? Okay. Well, I'm talking too much apparently. Anyway, I've told this story to people before already, but when I was in school, they were using Macs there. Oh god, I have to take everything apart. What happened here? I thought I put all the pistons in, and I put the correct ones in, the new ones. What? This one is 68, so it does want the 72% minimum, right? See, this doesn't make any sense because they want this replaced, but they don't want the camshafts replaced. That makes 0 sense because look, camshaft only one, even though the other one I believe is also kaput. Oh well. Anyway, yeah, I've told this already. This story. I was in school, and they were using Macs there, so we had to use them as well, obviously. And at one point, the school decided to upgrade their studio Mac, which was, you know, the most powerful Mac there. And they put up a sign on the board which said, you know, we're selling this Mac, you can buy it, here's the specs and here's the price. And I looked at the specs and I thought to myself, what? Wait a second. This Mac is much slower than my own gaming computer, yet it costs, now that it's used and old, it costs about twice as much as my computer costed new. I mean, you know, it's just, it boggles the mind. For someone, maybe for someone that doesn't actually understand computers, a Mac is maybe a good choice. I don't know. Because, you know, they just buy it and that's it. But you can buy pre-built PCs as well. I love building all of my PCs myself because I want to know what kind of components go in, and, you know, I want to make sure that I do a proper job and so on and so forth. But I don't know. It's just insane to me. And wow, I've screwed this up big time, didn't I? Because I babbled so much. Oh well. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying this. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about the whole right to repair thing. And if you have any experience with that, that would be interesting to hear. If you've ever been to like a repair place where they, well, an official authorized repair place, and they wanted something ridiculous to repair your stuff. Anyway, have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.